learning targets for Unit 6. Y'all remember when we did absolute value equations? We had to like 2 cases and get the absolute value by itself. It's kind of like that, but without 2 cases. Bryant, read step 1 for me.
Isolate the radical on one side of the equation.
Alright, what does that mean?
Yeah, the radical isolated.
Good. Like number 1, is it isolated?
No.
We have to do what? Good. So x plus 2 equals what? Yes, that's step 1. Nicole, read step 2 for me.
Raise each side of the equation to a power equal to the index of the radical to eliminate the radical.
Alright, the index of the radical, underline that part, that means the same thing as the root of the radical. And what is our root in number 1? So we need to raise both sides to be, yes. So that's step 2. We're going to be squaring everything. So what will we get on the left side?
9.
Yes, x plus 2. And then Sid said on the other side we're going to get, very good. So anytime you square something that's under radical, it cancels them out. Just keep that in mind when we do the rest of them. This one's pretty easy, but it'll get a little more difficult. Alright, and then step 3, Connor, will you read that one for me?
Solve the resulting polynomial equation. Check the result.
Alright, I want you to underline this part and put a star by it. Because I always say check your results, but these you actually have to, because sometimes you'll have extraneous solutions, which means that when you plug it back in, you might have done the whole entire problem right, and then you plug it back in and it won't work. That's when it's an extraneous solution and you put no solution. So these are kind of tricky. Like if you check it and it doesn't work, it might just be because it's no solution. Might be because you didn't do it right. You just don't know on these. Okay, and so x equals what on this one? 7. Good. We think. We just got to plug it in and check it. And on the test, on the test and on your homework, you can either check it in your head, on your calculator, or you can write it out. Which one do y'all want to do? Okay, so go ahead and plug this in, this equation, and make sure it equals 7. Good. If you wanted to just do it in your head, you know 7 plus 2 is 9, square root of 9 is 3, plus 4 is 7. So I'm going to just write that out, just in case you like writing things out. Oops. So that would be 3 plus 4 equals 7. Everybody good with that one? Alright. Number 4 is a little different. Can we isolate this radical? Like we could, like Evan said, like you could move the 1 over, but then what?
You just mess up the other radical.
Yes, so there's no way to get rid of it. So if you can't do step 1, you move to step 2, which is what? So we're raising each to what? Second power. So moving on to step 2, raising it to the second. So what we get on the left side?
X minus 3.
What about the right side?
X plus 4 minus 2.
Oh.
Or no, plus 2. No.
We're going to have to do what? What'd you say?
Plus 1.
Mm-mm. How many terms do you see here?
3.
Nope. 2, right? This is one term together. 2. So if we square something that has 2 terms, we have to fold. Good. The reason this one cancels out, just to reiterate, is because all of this is one term underneath one radical. This one, the 1's not underneath there. You can't just distribute the squared. And I think most of y'all finished y'all's checkpoint. Y'all remember the problem that was like square root of 5 minus square root of 7 squared? Y'all remember?
Yeah.
And then some of y'all try to distribute the squared. Same thing here. We can't just distribute this squared right here. We have to fold it out. So let's write it out twice first. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this side the same. Alright, stay with me when we fold it. What's the first term is going to be when we multiply together?
Square root of x squared plus 8.
if we're going to multiply these, which you can, but you'll just have to fold them out. What's the better option?
I would take the square root of.
Yeah, very good. That's good. Everybody see what she's saying? The square root of, I'm going to write on this because I'm not going to work this one out with you, so I'm going to write this up here, but you don't have to write it down. The square root of x plus 4 times the square root of x plus 4 is the same thing as square root of x plus 4 what? And what's going to happen? It's going to cancel. You see that? The root and the square is going to cancel, and you'll just have what? Good. Everybody with me on that? We did the same thing on this side. It just looks a little different. Alright, outer terms would be what?
Square root of x plus 4 minus the square root.
Yes, minus square root of x plus 4. Inside terms?
Minus square root of x
Good. And then,
plus 4.
good. Alright, there's a bunch of things we can combine. What do y'all want to combine first? These? Okay. And this one was on your checkpoint too, something like it. It was like, who hasn't finished their checkpoint? Good, then I can review this with you. Let me pause this recording. I'll just do it over here. I don't want people to see this that have already haven't finished their checkpoint. Remember, it was like negative square root of 30 minus square root of 30.
Yeah, and you're supposed to combine them.
And it was like negative.
It was
Good. Negative 2 squared root of 30 because you just combine the like terms right here.
I'm trying to just combine the two.
Yeah, it was the issue with that with everybody. So with these, when we combine them, same thing as this, it would be what? Perfect. I'm going to cross those out since we've combined them. What else can we combine? That makes what? Good. What else? The x's, right? I'm going to write this down. X minus 3 equals x. I'm going to just bring it down for right now. When we combine the x's, we'd have to move one over, and that's going to do what? Yes. If I subtract x, it's going to cancel them, right? From both sides. So I can cross those out. What else can I combine? Perfect. Alright, we want to get x by itself, so what should we move? The 5 or the 3?
5.
Yes, by doing what? Very good. So we'll get, and all this stays the same. Next step. That's right. So on this side we'll get what? Very good. How do we get rid of this radical? Close. Square it. I knew what you were saying. On this side? On this side? So answer? Very good. We do, but we can just do it out loud. Everybody good with this though? I'm going to leave it up here for a second for you to finish copying and kind of look over it. And then let's go ahead and plug in 12 together, like out loud. Alright, 12 minus 3? Square root of 9? Good. Equals 12 plus 4? Square root of 16? Minus 1? And I know what you're thinking, like this is always going to check out, but it's not, I promise. You'll see. Questions about that? Alright, last one. This one's different because it's a what root? Fifth. Everybody notice that? 1/5 is the same thing as like the fifth root. We need to get the radical by itself. What terms are underneath the radical? Good. So we need to move the 1 by adding it. Good. So it would be equals 3. Alright, how do y'all think we should get rid of the fifth root? Yes, not multiply, but to the power, fifth power. Good. So raise everything to the fifth power because 1 over 5 times 5 will cancel out to what? 1. Good. What about 3 to the 5th power? You can use your calculator.
244.
Alright, and now you just solve it. So from here we do what?
Add 1.
So it's 244, then divide by 4, which is? Very good. Alright, let's check it together kind of out loud, but you'll have to use your calculator. So 61 times 4.
244.
Minus 1
45.
to the 1/5 power.
3.
Minus 1. Good. This one works. Alright, you are doing 2, 3, and 5 on your own. And I'm going to give y'all a bunch of time for this, so at the end we can check it. If y'all want to group together and work on these, you can.